Flight testing by Cassidy tipping. Since the beginning of flight in airplanes, there has been flight testing. Flight testing is a very important part of flight. Without testing an aircraft before you take off and start flying, you are at risk of crashing the airplane and injuring everyone involved. Sir George Cayley of England did the first recorded flight test in 1804. The same year, Jefferson was re-elected U.S. president. He flew this aircraft, which was more like a mini glider that had a single wing and movable tail on a universal joint. It also had a movable weight to adjust the center of gravity. This was the first recorded fixed-wing aircraft capable of test flights. Since Sir George Cayley's flight testing has improved and changed a lot, now we have a lot of different flight testing for aircrafts. They go through a wing brake test, which is shown here in this video. It measures the amount of stress the wings can take by pushing them to their absolute hardest.
At this point, we continue at 10% increments up to 130%. Beyond that, we steadily increase. What you'll see as we continue to increase load beyond the 150% limit is the wing suddenly reaches its destruction. As we continue to load the wing beyond the 150% design limit load, it eventually reaches the point of destruction.
Then there is the minimum unstick speed testing, like in this next video. This measures the lowest speed the airplane can take off without hitting the tail on the runway. They do this by dragging the tail along the runway.
In November, Boeing test pilots repeatedly dragged the airplane's tail on a California runway. The velocity minimum unstick test is designed to figure out the lowest speed the freighter can take off.
Another test that we have now is ground effects, also known to some people as the hovering test. This is tested just in case you cannot land on the runway, you still know that the plane can take off again without touching the ground.
Right after takeoff and prior to landing, the issue of ground effects comes into play. So over several days in October, test pilots commanded the 747-8 freighter to basically hover over the runway. This examines the aerodynamic effects when the airplane is close to the ground. This test helps verify the jet's stability and control while gathering data for the engineering team to finalize the Autoland system.
The last one I will tell you about is the stall testing. For this, they go up and fly, and then the pilot puts the plane into a stall. They do this to make sure that the plane can get going again from a stall during mid-flight.
4-5.
Once the airplane is in the clouds, the gravity-defying tests continue.
Recover.
In this clip from August, the pilots purposely put the freighter into a stall to make sure it can recover, and time and again the airplane was up to the challenge.
There are many more tests that they go through, like flutter testing, extreme weather testing, maximum brake energy testing, and so much more. All these tests help us know that our aircrafts are safe. We test them so we know and can find the problems in an aircraft, because could you imagine if this test was a real flight and they hadn't tested it and this is what happened?
Aircraft manufacturers have tried to fix that problem by designing the pilot out of the cockpit. This is the first fully automated plane, flown by a computer.
Like I said, flight testing is a big part of aircrafts. Without them, aircrafts would be nowhere near as safe as they are now. Thank you for watching Flight Testing by Cassidy Tipping.